What's going on, guys? Runekeeper here, your official Naraka esports caster, and we're going to be going over the new August 29th patch notes with you guys here today. But first, guys, if you liked the video, leave a like. If you guys want constant Naraka news, if you guys want to check out my new shorts, including my Naraka comedy breakdowns, guys, drop a sub on the channel so you guys get alerts, and if you would, hit the little bell notification. We're going to jump right into it, guys. I'm not going to read over all of these patch notes. If you want, there will be a link in the description if you want to read over everything. But we're going to jump over and just talk about the important stuff real quick. A new report function added where you guys will be able to report improper party making, aka people who are out there teaming with other players and stuff. You can send video footage by going to the website and doing that now, and a couple other in-game functions changed as well. Coming up here, guys, big one. Everyone's been asking for this for a long time. You can't bind anything to the Z key because the Z key has been hard bound to Moonbane Charm. That will be changing this patch. You will be able to change Moonbane Charm's custom keybind to another key, which will open up your Z key and allow you to bind different keys to that key as well now. That's a really good one here, and super happy to see it. Some new skins and stuff coming to the game for Yoda, a new greatsword skin, and of course a new skin for Yoda overall. Some big hero adjustments. Tarka and Tumulk will now be able to block with their ultimate / their sand wisps, the cannon and the swarm, the explosive stuff, just making it a little more viable for them to block incoming projectiles. Tumulk is seeing a big change here, of course, being able to use his Zephyr Wisps while he's under attack, hopefully bringing Tumulk a little bit better back into the meta here, and of course him seeing a cooldown increase across the board for his Wisps because of that. But I think him being able to use his Wisps while being attacked is going to be very, very good for him and opening up some very good change-up options. Tarka seeing a slight buff as well, reducing the cost of Giga Flame while in Blackout Vulcan, opening up the ability for him to be able to throw at least one more fireball, and then slightly increasing the speed of following combos when he uses his counter, meaning that the hit when he finishes the counter comes a little bit faster, making it harder to dodge. Karumi seeing some solo play changes, much needed in my opinion. Binding to players in solo reduces the healing, and then of course her Sacred Circle and the armor enhanced version of Sacred Circle receiving big nerfs to the amount of healing she gets. In solos right now, she can basically pop that, stand there, and feel very, very invincible. So it's going to make it so she has to think about the damage she's taking and not just pop the circle, stand in it, and feel like you can't kill her till it goes away. Tianhei seeing some changes specifically to the Varja. The long and short of it is that he's seeing health reduction overall while in Varja form, but the weak points are going to take less damage. The hope with this change here being, of course, that it makes it a little bit more easy to deal with Varja as a team, and being able to focus him down, but so much so where the monk doesn't just instantly die if you focus the weak points, right? He has a little bit more survivability in that regard, so it's still going to take some team coordination to deal with him when he Varjas up, but it's not going to feel like he's just a giant HP sponge where he takes forever to take down. So with some better coordination, you'll be able to take him down that much easier. Yoda seeing a bunch of little changes across the board. Fixing up her F so she can get that cooldown reset a little bit easier. Huge damage reduction to her Spirit Slash. I'm not sure how I feel about that one yet. Feels like a very big nerf for a character that's not seeing a lot of play in competitive already. Matari's ult no longer resets both charges on her Unseen Wings, aka her double teleport. It will only reset one charge now, trying to reduce her ability to run away, whereas before she could double teleport, cast her ult, double teleport again. Very hard to chase down, especially with the dagger movement that we've seen now. A Matari with a dagger was just uncatchable if she had both her ult and Unseen Wings up. So this is a nice change to see. I think we're going to see more Matari changes in the future. I think we're going to see her probably see a little bit more nerfs to her mobility. But I think with the big dagger changes we're about to talk about, they don't want to go too far because they want to get some data to see if it's relevant, whether the dagger was part of the problem for Matari or not. Big answer, I think yes, but I also think she's still going to need some more nerfs in the future. Weapon adjustments, they're increasing the upward strike, aka like when you're climbing up a tree and you attack upwards for all weapons across the board. they're trying to reduce the amount of tree riding we see in competitive, and this is going to be a big change because these are some big number jumps that we're seeing, and it's going to make tree riding less viable because if you get hit from below, it's going to hurt. Daggers, big changes across the board. The most notable one being the dagger dashes. You can't do them in quick succession anymore. They cost way more energy. A couple of changes to some of the damages being reduced. A lot of the stagger being reduced. These are all changes we really wanted to see for the dagger. If you want to see them in depth, I highly recommend taking the link in the description and coming here and reading all of this. But in general, big nerfs across the board for dagger, so hopefully it won't be such a big problem. Some optimization stuff for greatsword and katana, some overall optimization for all the weapons as far as being able to land hits in the air and stuff. Weapons like a cannon and the swarm, their shots can now be cut down out of the air, making it a lot harder to land some of those hits if people are aware that they're coming at them. This is good changes overall, I do believe. I think the cannon has been very prevalent right now, especially once you get some of those jades. So this will make it so you can counteract it a little bit more, and some abilities will block them as well. The musket seeing a small change, meaning it'll be able to aim down sights and fire that first shot just a little bit faster. Something I think the musket needs, kind of nice change. I don't see it being a huge change for the musket, though. New soul jades for the dagger, changing up its abilities. Big one is that the melee resist soul jades are being decreased across the board, right? So the melee resistance is being decreased, and the overall cap is being reduced from 30% to 25%. This is because in competitive play, 90% of the damage is done from melee, and we're seeing basically just across the board, people want melee resist soul jades and nothing else. So they're hoping to change up some of that dependency so we see a larger variety in soul jades into competitive play. And then the big one, of course, swift heal being removed from the game right now, causing some issues with teams just being able to grab swift heal and group heal and then just like one person rat around and heal for your whole team and stuff. They're not sure that it's really healthy for the current meta of the game right now. So they're going to be removing swift heal. They're going to be doing some testings and see if they can't make adjustments and make it healthy for the game again and reintroduce it to the game. Cannon soul jades, seeing big changes. The big one being that twin shot. Now instead of taking 1 durability, if you shoot 2 cannonballs, it takes 2 durability. Think this is really good. Some small damage reductions across the board for twin shot and bounce shell. Just trying to balance out the cannon a little bit so it's not quite so dominant in some of the lower elos, and you can't pump out quite as much damage in the higher elos. Big one for pistol. The detonating rounds no longer can use sprint dodge and remove the detonating rounds. This was a gold soul jade that felt completely useless because 9 times out of 10, if you shot a player, the first thing they were going to do was going to dash, immediately dropping those rounds, and it reduces the initial damage that the pistol does. So it made the pistol do almost no damage, and you never got the detonating rounds off. It was only good in Devarja. Now, you're definitely going to get those detonating rounds off, and it's going to hurt. It's going to feel much more like a gold soul jade. I think we're going to see a lot more pistols being used, honestly. This is a really good jade if they can't just dash and get rid of them. Whirlwind seeing a small change. Basically, the knockup's not as long. I think that's a good change. I like that. And then the glyphs for dagger, the energy cost reduction being reduced across the board. Again, just trying to alleviate some of the pain that the dagger has caused. Scale rush being changed. This is a big one. It now takes 1.1 second to charge up to the blue stage, aka where you can't be grappled, where you get the big dash out and you get the big damage off of it. I think this is a good change. I think it's going to change up the movement meta just a little bit. We're going to see a little more grapples coming out and less scale rushing. Make scale rushing a little bit more risky, but I think it's still going to be a viable tactic. Just some other changes across the board. Nothing really big. And then, of course, some cosmetic changes. We're seeing more controller stuff being worked out. I think this is really good. I think this means we're getting closer and closer to a console release. I know a lot of you want that console release. They're working really hard. They're trying to get the controller stuff set up so that it feels good, so that it doesn't feel bad on console, because nobody wants it to feel bad on console when it releases. So I think this is a good change that we're seeing here. And then just some overall in-game adjustments. The big one being is you can no longer discard items from your inventory by accident, which means you can't throw away immortal chests and things like that. Good job, 24 Entertainment, removing that so people stop accidentally removing stuff. And then just some general bug fixes. Overall, I think this is a very strong patch. I really like it. I can't wait to see how the competitive scene rolls out from this. Definitely the tree riding. That's the other big one that I missed there. You can no longer move while you're healing on the side of a tree. We see that a ton in competitive play. Between that and the upward damage increase when you're going up walls and trees and stuff, they are definitely trying to remove some of that tree riding. And I think this is overall a strong patch. We might see some more changes for Atari in the future, but I like where things are going. The devs are listening to the community. I agree with a ton of these changes. I'm super excited. Guys, I want to know down in the comments below. Let me know, what changes do you like from this patch? What changes do you not like from this patch? Leave it in the comments. I've got a direct line to the devs. Everything you comment, I'm going to make sure it gets passed along to the devs so that they know what the community thinks, what they want to see, whether they liked this patch, whether they didn't like this patch. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. If you liked the video, if you found it informative, leave a like on the video. And if you guys want more Naraka news, if you want comedy breakdowns, if you want cool shorts, and if you just want to keep up with Naraka's official shoutcaster right here, leave a subscription. It helps a ton. I love your faces, guys. Travelers, stay safe out there on your journeys, and I can't wait to see you next time.